News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
No protection for Billings deputies who shot a man to death. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Monday, January 30th, 2017. We're looking for snow, big-time snow coming our way starting tonight, heading all the way through Wednesday. 6 to 8 inches possible in the Missoula Valley. Right now, we have 21 degrees under a cloudy sky. Our newscast sponsored by Big Sky Breakout, the live interactive escape room experience. You and your team locked in a themed room for 1 hour. A judge has ruled that the actions of two former Montana deputies who shot and killed a 28-year-old man were unreasonable, and they're not entitled to protections under law. The Billings Gazette reported last week that District Judge Susan Waters handed down a ruling in favor of Lauren Benjamin Simpson's estate last week. Simpson's family sued Yellowstone County after the deputies fatally shot Simpson as he was driving toward them in a stolen SUV in 2015. The county had argued that the deputies are entitled to qualified immunity, which excludes them from liability for civil damages. But Waters disagreed with that claim, saying the deputies' use of force was severe and the danger they faced during the incident was minimal. Yellowstone County considering an appeal. Missoula County Attorney's Office has been busy prosecuting the murder trial of Manuel Gomez, but according to Deputy County Attorney Jason Marks on Talkback on Friday, the county's juggling many other cases.
We've obviously got the homicide trial going right now, and then in terms of new things coming in, it's kind of the usual mixed bag, felony DUI, assault on a peace officer, a couple of domestic violence cases, and, of course, the usual drug cases.
Assault on a peace officer incidents happen all too often, but they don't always end up in court. Mark says latest case involved two deputies from the county sheriff's office.
Investigating an individual that was having some difficulties, and he then ran and broke into some stranger's house, I think trying to get away, and they went after him, and he went on the fight with them, and no one was seriously injured, but the two deputies did get banged up a little bit in the process of trying to get him restrained and into custody. As
far as drug cases are concerned, Mark says Missoula is prosecuting 3 to 4 methamphetamine cases every week. Strangulation is a common feature in partner or family member assault cases in Montana, unfortunately, and a new bill will change the way these crimes are treated under Montana law. SB 153 was created by Yellowstone County Attorney Scott Tweeto and Attorney General Tim Fox. Eric Sell from the Attorney General's office explains.
A bill that would make strangulation of a partner or family member a felony offense in the state of Montana. Right now, as the law stands, there's not a specific statute related to strangulation that distinguishes it from other forms of assault, and that creates a hole in the law that doesn't allow victims the protection they need when they're in an abusive relationship.
Currently, many counties treat strangulation cases as felonies. However, Sell says the damage standard under current law means that some cases slip through the cracks.
In order to become a felony, strangulation has to create a significant amount of damage to the victim for it to be charged as a felony. And that's often hard to prove. When strangulation creates damage, it's often internal and it's not readily apparent. So it's a damage standard as opposed to just the act of strangulation itself.
The bill is being carried by Senator Margie McDonald from Billings. It will be up for a hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee this week. Bills supported directly by the AG have a very high likelihood of being passed here in Montana. The Montana Office of Public Instruction is hiring an outside investigator to review policies related to reporting student proficiency data to the federal government. Superintendent Elsie Arnson announced last week that some test data submitted last year was, quote, falsified, end quote. Montana juniors take the ACT test rather than Smarter Balance tests to cut the amount of time students spend taking standardized tests. The federal form used to report student test results allows only responses for proficiency categories. The ACT does not rate proficiency, but results in a score from 1 to 32. The federal former Superintendent Denise Juneau has said officials entered the students' ACT test results as proficient and intended to revise it at a later date. OPI spokesman Dylan Clapmeyer said Friday Arnson found no documentation indicating the Department of Education knew Montana was submitting incorrect information. The Montana Shooting Sports Association has filed a complaint with the Montana Office of Disciplinary Counsel against an attorney in New York City, Jonas Oransky, with Everytown USA, for allegedly offering legal advice about a controversial gun registration ordinance to a member of Missoula City Council without being licensed to practice law in Montana. Author of the ordinance, Brian von Lossberg, confirmed he had contacted Aronsky, as well as many others, for advice on the ordinance.
I was in some email communication with Mr. Aransky. I sought policy advice from a number of people relative to the ordinance, and I received policy advice from a number of people, and he was one of them. I certainly didn't employ Mr. Aransky. The only attorney that's employed by the city on stuff like this is the city attorney and his staff, and those are the only people I relied on for legal advice.
MSSA President Gary Marbut called on Aransky to follow Montana law when it comes to dispensing legal advice to a member of the Missoula City Council.
I think they need to play by the rules, and the rules say that if an attorney is giving advice in Montana and practicing law, he has to be licensed in Montana, and if he's not, it's a crime in Montana. So we will let the regulatory agencies look into this and determine whether or not a crime has actually been committed, and if so, what the consequences will be.
Both the Office of Disciplinary Counsel and the Montana Bar Association have passed the matter on to the Montana Attorney General's office for review. The AG has already issued an opinion that the city has no authority to enforce that ordinance. Finally, a winter storm watch has been issued by the National Weather Service starting tonight and continuing through Tuesday night. Meteorologist Travis Booth says the Missoula Valley could get up to 8 inches of snow over the next couple of days.
It looks like we're going to have another significant winter storm move into the area beginning on Monday night and continuing all the way through, well, at least Wednesday morning. At this point, it looks like the heavier snow will probably fall from about the Mission Valley southward to like the I-90 corridor, and that'll stretch from west to east across the western part of Montana.
Booth said another front containing colder temperatures will follow the snow. A Stage 1 air pollution alert was called Saturday and continued yesterday. However, the coming weather system could help improve Montana's air quality. Our Newstalk time, 6:39.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Increasing clouds today with highs in the 30s. A winter storm watch goes into effect tonight and will stick around through Wednesday for accumulating snowfall. We could see as much as 9 inches in the Missoula Valley. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.